Hi everyone and welcome to the Angular 4 QuickStart tutorial. I'm very excited about that tutorial and hope you are too. Please subscribe and like to get updates about the new tutorial. And now, let us start. So in the last video, we've talked about the Angular 4 structure, how Angular 4 works, and how to create a component, and how to use binding directive. Today's video, we'll be talking about component structure and how to initialize an array and objects and call them from the HTML. So let us start by taking a look on the project that we started last time. So this is the component. Let us check what are the main structure of the component. In that part, it's the import part. This is where you're going to import whatever services or functions you're going to need to use inside the component. And this we're going to have it in detail in later video. Inside the component decorator, this is a decorator and those are the properties. So those properties, one of them is the selector, which we talked about the last time, which is the identifier or the name. You can consider it as the component name or identifier, which can be used to call the component template. The templateUrl, this is where you set the path of the HTML, which will be used as an output for the component. For the styleUrls, this is the property which is used for setting the CSS path for any of the above HTML ones. There are a lot of other providers too, like animations, which is used to use the animation. There are queries, there are module ID inputs, but not all of them are popular or used. So let us start with those three, and in some other video we'll be discussing the animation too. So if we go to the HTML and we put some other text here, okay. So now here we have the text. Let's go to the CSS and define that H1. And let's make it, for example, like style italic. Okay. So now all the texts are italic. Let's go back again to our component. So one of the tips, in our case, if we are having only few lines of HTML, we don't need to use separate HTML file. Instead, we can just put the HTML here. And then instead of the single quote, you put like tilde and you put here your code. From components. Okay, I forgot to do one important thing, and you shouldn't forget it like me. Instead of templateUrl now, you need to use template. So it's running. Now it's ignoring the HTML file, and it's running only that HTML from inside the component. You can do the same to styleUrls. So you remove URLs and you have it like styles, but the only difference that we'll be keeping the brackets and also just remove the quotes with tilde ones. And let us put the CSS here. So I'm gonna move the CSS Save that file. See, it's back, it's not italic anymore. Then I'm gonna go to the component, put the CSS here, save it, and yes, it's italic again. So that's what you need to know about the component properties. Other than that, it's gonna be mainly the animation and the providers. What is the providers? When you import here a service or a dependency that you need, you're going to add it as a providers too, inside the providers. Okay, let us now move on and initializing the object and initialize an array too. So let us start with an object. To initialize an object, let's say it's car object, so it's equals, and then you open braces, and inside the braces you can say like brand, you say like Toyota, then you put a comma, and engine 3.5 comma, and then model 2010. That's it. Let's save it. Now we want to read the object now. To read the object, it's going to be simply, in the last video I've showed you, like, to read any string or any variable, you need to put them between the braces. Since it's an object, it's going to be car and then dot, and you choose what object do you want, what property of the object that you want. So it's going to be, for example, brand, save, then it's Toyota here, so we got it here. Let's move on and try the array. To initialize an array, it's going to be, again, the name of the array, and instead of the braces you're going to use brackets, and inside the brackets you can put commas and separate them with the single quotes, and separate them with commas. So employees, so let us put Venkat, Harry, Rubina, Ali, and maybe and Christopher. Okay, so now if we add here employees, it's going to show all the employees. See, it's showing all of them. So if you want to read specific employee, you have to put the number, and since the array it starts from 0, so Venkat is 0, Harry is 1. So if we want to read Rubina, then it's going to be 0, 1, 2. So it's going to be between brackets, and you put 2 and you run it. That's it for today, guys. Until we meet again, bye.